So we're going to go ahead and go back to gallery on top. Now, if everybody could turn their cameras on, we're going to go through a couple of views here. It doesn't matter if you didn't do your hair today, you have no hair, or you have no makeup on. Let's just be present. Thanks, David. So here in this window, this is our view of 9 people, and we have the ability to come up here and actually go into large gallery preview. So when we do that, we're able to see 49 people at one time with the presenter up in the corner, but you can also see me here as well. So this lets us be together, same screen. We can read facial expressions. And so when you're working with your customers, we can actually gain better rapport because I'm going to be able to see if you like what I'm saying. Do I need to change the direction of my call from that example? We also have the ability to go into together mode. And when we're in together mode, here we are together. We're sitting in the forest, but we can actually go in and change our scenes as well. Microsoft is constantly innovating. You can see there's a ton of them here. We can go ahead and go swimming if we want to. So we have the ability to have some fun with our teams at the same time as well. Okay, I'm going to go back into that gallery view. A couple of other things that we are able to do here is if we actually go to Erin, and these are the new things that have come on, I can disable her mic. I can now disable her camera, which is kind of nice. If anybody heard of the Zoom debacle, there was a lady going to the bathroom, would have loved to take her off camera. You can pin her. So if you like shiny objects, which I do, if Erin were talking, I would pin her so I'm just focusing on her. Okay, your makeup's on point today, Erin. Beautiful as always. You also have the ability to come through and you can spotlight people. So when Mike was speaking, I could have spotlighted Mike. And when I do that, it's going to spotlight Mike for everybody on the call. Okay. So he is our main focal point. He is the one that we are going to pay attention to. And if you can see up here, we can still see everybody because this is new with Teams. Okay. Let me go ahead and stop spotlighting. Now, if Mike were to say hello, so go ahead and say hello, Mike.
Hello, Abby.
You can see that Mike turns purple. Okay, that means that he is the one talking. Your eye is drawn to that. Now, if Erin were to raise her hand, we're going to see a yellow box around Erin. Erin raised her hand here. And when I come over to the side, Erin moves to the top of the queue because her hand is rose. Okay, so this allows us to have a constructive, effective meeting where we're not going to be speaking over one another. So when I'm done answering Erin's question, I just have to come over here, click lower hand, and I can move on to the next attendee with the question. Okay. Another really cool thing is I love to be punctual. And so at the end of the meeting, 5 minutes before the meeting ends, there's going to be a bar that pops up that says you have 5 minutes left. That helps us wrap up our agenda, stay on track for our next call. Okay. Questions on this so far? All right, now over here, you can see we have our attendees. We have everybody that is here from this perspective. We can share our invite to other people if we need to. We also have the ability to come up to the attendees and click on the 3 dots here. Here we're able to mute all, disable the mic for attendees, disable camera for all attendees, manage permissions, and download the attendee list. I'm going to go ahead and download that attendee list. Now, when I do that, and I come over here to my file section, and I go to my download section, the attendee list is going to show up right here. This is going to show me when people joined and when people left the call. Okay, I'm going to wait for that to pop up and then I'll show you what that looks like. Looks like there's a question over here. Yes, I love the 5-minute too. But when we pull up that meeting attendee list, we're going to be able to see everything here. But wait, Microsoft is making an improvement. You can now schedule a webinar, track it, send it out, everything through Microsoft Teams, and you're going to get even richer, deep analytics on your call. When was the best content? When were people paying attention? There's a ton of great things coming for that as well. Okay. So you have this over here. We have 50 people that are attending. Now, one of the things that I like is I have the ability to remove people from the call. Is the person on the 815 number? Did you dial in as well as see me on camera?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Awesome. So if she just dialed in and she didn't announce herself, I would go ahead and I would remove her. I'm a big stickler for security. Once I remove that attendee, they're not allowed back in. Okay. So that's nice from that perspective. So if you see anybody that's anonymous, I would just go ahead and double check from that perspective to make sure your meetings are safe and secure. Okay. Um, Microsoft Teams, from what I know of heard, and I'm in this every day, has never been hacked. Okay. Zoom recently had a huge hacking situation on Easter Sunday during a church service with pornography. And so it's really important to know that, and this is true, it's out there in the news. It's important to know how safe this platform really is for us to conduct business. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to these three dots before I go to anything else. Up here, you can actually add an app. That's brand new today. First time I just saw it. You can go into your device settings. Now, this is where you can change your audio devices on the call. You can change your microphones. You can see I actually can flip. You can change your noise suppression. Now, how many of you are still working at home and have loud dogs or loud kids? If you come here and you change this to high, yep, you are not going to be able to hear those dogs, those kids, those bags of chips. I had a bobcat, not the animal, in my front yard last week, and it was shaking my house like I was in an earthquake for 45 minutes. And my partners were like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I have a bobcat outside." And they're like, "We can't even hear it because the noise suppression was on." Okay, that's how great that tool is. Then you can switch your cameras. So if I go here, you can see my Jabra Pancast 180 camera. You can see my whole office, my Surface Hub over here. If you don't have a hub, I'd highly recommend it. It's the best investment ever. And then I can switch to my Eagle Eye camera. So here you can see me. I'm right in front, and it's super easy to switch depending upon what you're trying to accomplish. In here as well, you have your meeting options. Now, here you can choose who can bypass the lobby. People in my org, only me, people I invite. They're constantly adding new functions here. So if you want to get prepared before you let anybody into the call, you can do that here. Always let callers bypass the lobby, announce when callers join or leave. Personally, that one's kind of annoying because it keeps dinging at you, so I just leave that one off. Who can present? Well, before the call, I went to only me, and everybody was there before, so it automatically made you all attendees. And then allow meeting chat. I can actually do it for in meeting only. So after the call, nobody could respond. Um, you can do disabled or enabled as well, and then allow reactions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click out of here. That was the best hug ever, Erin. We also have the ability to see our meeting options. So here we're able to see everything. We can copy the join info. No need to go back to that calendar invite. Everything is included here for you. Okay. We went through the together modes, the gallery. You can go into full screen. You can call me. And you can also apply background effects. Pre-COVID, as Mike knows, I was on the road 3 weeks a month and working in a lot of hotel rooms. And so you want to make sure that you cover that up when you don't want to make your bed. Or when COVID hit, my twins were home and one of them came in completely naked. And I didn't even have the blur on, which was the only thing released. Okay. So you can actually upload your own background and then you can change that there. So now I'm in a Microsoft Teams room. Super quick and easy. No longer do you need to be tidy. We have you covered. You also have the ability to turn on live captions. Now, this live captions is awesome because now you're going to be able to see it, hear it, and read it all at the same time. So if I speak too fast for you, you don't have to worry anymore. The thing to remember is that this is a personal setting. It's not a meeting wide setting. So if you want it on, you need to turn it on. Okay. The other function that I really like as well is I can go ahead and fit to frame. So I'm not seeing Candace completely. If I do this, it'll pop her into view more. I had a customer on the call the other day and I only saw half of his face. But when I pushed that button, I was able to see him across the board. And then you also have your recording and your dial pad here. Okay. Questions on this so far? All right. We're going to come over to chat. Now, chat gives us a ton of functionality. We're able to type it so it looks pretty. It'll check your spelling. You're able to add in emojis, which is fun. You can add in GIFs. I always just do the first one, so we'll see what it is. You can even do stickers, but there's a ton of apps as well that will come up here. So you can actually do stream approvals. You can put in your weather. It's 50-mile-an-hour winds in here in Fargo right now. We'll see if it says that, but it's nice at least. But we're able to communicate that way. We're also able to do some more things through chat. So if I were to write hola, we can actually come up to hola and we're going to be able to translate that into English. So that's going to go ahead and tell me hello. So if you work with customers that speak different languages, it'll actually translate into 60 different languages. Pretty cool. The other thing that I like is the immersive reader. So sometimes we have customers or even ourselves that can't go through it all. So now it can actually read it to me.
Hanson, Abby at Tuesday, May 25th, 2021, 2:22 p.m. Hola.
Okay. So it's cool that we have that functionality from that perspective. The other thing that we have the ability to do in this meeting is go into breakout rooms. And so when we click breakout room, we actually can go into different rooms to have separate conversations. So I'm going to just go ahead and create 4 rooms and click create rooms. And what this will do is automatically assigning you to a room. You could also choose rooms. You could create 4 rooms and then pick who you would like to go to those rooms. So if you're having a company-wide meeting, what will happen is that you can meet as a group, go to your separate rooms. It'll be the same Microsoft Teams interface that you see now, including being able to do transcription. You're going to be able to record. There's really a ton that you're able to do from that perspective. And I think because there's so many in here, it's just taking a moment. I'm going to go ahead and click out of there. But those rooms, you can see, are started right over here. So you were automatically assigned. Now, what will happen is if I, as the owner, start the room, I'm going to have the ability to jump in between the rooms. If you mention me, I'm going to know that I need to attend that room, okay? Soon, to be released, you can have multiple presenters to be able to jump between rooms, which is pretty cool. So that's on the roadmap. Now, up here, you can make an announcement. When you make an announcement, that announcement will actually show up in the chat for every single room. Okay, cool. You guys like that feature? It's fun to play with. You also have the ability, I'm going to come over here. So in Teams, my meeting chat is actually showing up right over here, okay? So it's important to note that we can actually move this meeting, that's here. I'm gonna move it to my other screen, but now we can communicate here. So if we wanted to, you see all the apps, even Starbucks, but we can put files here. So we're able to work on documents together at the same time. Real-time collaboration, no longer sending email back and forth. Don't clog that email up. My general rule of thumb is with Microsoft Teams, do everything in Teams if you're internal. If you're working with an external client, save that for email. And that's how you're going to get time back on your day because you're going to get the real-time collaboration and you're going to be able to communicate effectively. And Erin and I are going to show you that in chat in a moment. You can also take your meeting notes here. So when we take our meeting notes, and if you make this a reoccurring appointment, it's actually going to follow you week after week. Okay, so you can see that here as well. You have the ability to whiteboard. If you're working remote, we're all going to be able to whiteboard here together as well. Okay, I use whiteboard daily with partners This is one of the examples that I'm doing with them. I'm helping them build out their Teams channels. And here, I can actually come through the whiteboard and I can post it to Teams because everything talks to one another. So at the end of the day, that's pretty cool. And I added polls. So here, when I did that, all I did was click forms. It's free. So if you want to talk to your employees or whatever, you can create a poll. Now, I did that poll in the beginning. If you didn't see it in the chat, are you currently using Teams? But I can create a new poll. And what I'm going to do is just do a quick one. Ice cream or cupcakes? I know which one I like. But it's so fast to be able to do this on the fly, right? You can keep it anonymous. When I click save and I launch it, it's so quick for me to be interactive to gain feedback. And now that's going to go ahead and pop up in front of your face. So it should show up right here. I'm going to hit submit. When I go over to the conversation, it's going to show up here in the window. Okay. So pretty cool from that perspective. Now, these meetings are pretty intuitive. You can add over 600, well, actually, it's like 880 apps now into your meeting environment to make them productive. So I would just encourage you to explore there. Okay. Any questions on this meeting environment? All right. Now we're going to go ahead and come up here to the top. And this is a recent change that I saw just this morning. So forgive me if I'm a little slow. But when I do my drop-down menu, I can now set my status message here. This change in interface just happened. So when I do this, hopefully I am rocking this Teams demo even with the cold. And I click show when people message me. I want it just to today and click done. When people message me, it's going to show up over the chat bar. I can also schedule my out of office directly out of Teams, which is really cool because when you have it on your cell phone and you forget to schedule your out of office, you can do it off your phone app too. You don't have to open your computer up anymore. But when I click that, Erin, do you want to send me a message, but just send the screenshot in the chat window so that they can see what it looks like? That would be great. Now here, you can change your photo just by clicking on it. And then I am a part of multiple different domains. So if somebody wanted to post content, let's say in the Microsoft domain, I would see notifications there. I can click here and I would just head right back into there. Okay. I can also manage my account here too. Okay. So I have my general section where I can change my theme, my applications, my languages, enable spell check, which is a huge one for me because I can't spell very well. I think I'm just too fast for my own good. And then you can actually schedule your out of office there as well. Okay. Here are your accounts that you're a part of, your privacy, enable your read receipts. You can block people if you don't want them communicating with you. Your notifications are here. So Mike, you had asked me earlier, you click play sound for incoming calls or notifications. You want to turn that one off. And now you won't get that ding, ding, ding anymore when you're in meetings, okay? You can even show message preview. So you're gonna have to go through here and kind of figure out what works for you from that perspective, okay? You can set your devices up here, not inside the call. So I always have mine the same, and then I just change my camera when I'm on a call. You have app permissions here, captions and transcripts, and then calls as well. Okay. And one of the things that I didn't get to show you, I wonder if it's here. They took it off. There is transcription that is available now, and it will transcribe the whole meeting for you. But I think with the updates, it might not be enabled at this moment, but it should be there for others. Okay. Then if you click on the three dots, you can also do your settings here. There's keyboard shortcuts and then your check for updates. All right. And you can see your status messages showing in chat and channels when people message or mention you. When we go to the search button, you can do a ton of search here, like Control F to find things. You can actually do shortcuts here where it's going to do the activity, etc. So I just recommend going through and looking at that. And then when we come over here to the activity section, this is your feed. How many of you have Facebook? Hands up, maybe, yeah. This is like your notification feed, right? This is when you're gonna know that you have been mentioned somewhere or you need to pay attention to something. It's like one-stop shopping. You're not gonna have to go search for it anywhere. But when you come up to the feed here, you can actually go to my activity. Now I do spend 99.9% of my day in Teams. And so here I'm gonna be able to come through and actually see everything that I've worked on, okay? Now to chat. You have two types of chat. You have pinned chat and you have your recent chat. Pinned chat are projects that I work on that are under 3 months. I'm not going to start a team or a channel for them. Regular chat is just regular communication that's going on back and forth. Okay. So she sent an image here. Okay. This is what that's going to look like. You can see status rocking a Teams demo. So it's going to show when you're out of office or what you're doing. Okay. Thanks for that, Erin. So I'll pin, these are projects that I'm working on or people that I talk to all of the time. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and show you how to use chat. So we're going to start up here by clicking the box. I'm going to go ahead and put Erin in there. I'm also going to go ahead and put Tracy. So I'm creating what's called a group chat. Now I'm going to go over here and click this little down arrow. We've already started a chat together through a demo, but this needs to be a chat for a different purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and call it Teams Demo. Okay, so that's going to give me a clean interface to work with. When I do that and come down here, you can see it's automatically named. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just hide this. Now, when we're down here, I'm going to go ahead and type, "Hi, ladies. I am in a demo. Want to help?" And I know Erin is already here, so she's going to help. But down here, you have the ability to do everything that you need to do with typing, spelling, etc. Now, it's important to note when you do a chat, the documents are saved in your OneDrive. Okay, so this is all personal information. When you work in what's called the teams, which have channels, that's all built on a SharePoint backend. Okay, so personal versus SharePoint, which is more company-wide. Okay, now when we come down here and I type hello, I'm going to go ahead and cause urgency. So I can mark that as important so that they see it right away. It's going to show up here in the activity section as important. I can mark it as urgent. Okay, when I mark it as urgent, it's going to ping that person every 2 minutes for 20 minutes until they answer, even above and beyond my status up here. So you can see I'm presenting. Here's my status. I can change this. When I'm presenting, I'm in Do Not Disturb. It's pushing through that because it's urgent. Okay. But I don't want to annoy them because I love them. And so I'm going to go ahead and just bring it back to standard. Okay. I can attach
Thanks, Abby.
You're welcome. I'm going to go ahead and put in my demo file here. Now, this is life-changing to me because I want to make sure that I have the right people on the document at the right time, editing and working on it with me. If I do that via email, people get left off. I'm not going to see the changes. Mistakes are going to be made. And so when I send this and I open it and Erin goes into it, we're actually going to be able to edit this document at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and name it Chicago Hot Dogs. Not dogs. Okay. Now, I do that for a specific reason because once Erin comes in and I actually go to the design and I choose my designer, you're going to see that you have the same capabilities in PowerPoint as you do if it's on your desktop. So even the advanced AI is showing up. It knew it was Chicago. It gave me a hot dog. It's reading. It's knowing what I do. Everything is turning out beautiful. Now, when Erin hops in, are you in there yet? I don't see you. Can you go ahead? I'm going to come up here to the comment section. Oh, there she is. So there's her circle. I'm going to go ahead and do a new comment to Erin. So I'm going to go at Erin. Okay. Please add slide 2. And this is going to go to her Outlook if she's not there. Okay. So you can see Erin is actively editing. I gave her a note. She goes ahead and she adds slide 2. So even if you're working on a presentation and you're not all online, things are going to show up there for you. And the best part is you never have to click save. And the best part on top of that is you're never going to lose everything ever again because you didn't have to click save. It's already saved there for you. And to me, that's awesome. I was working at Microsoft and days on a monthly rhythm of business. And I click save. I thought I had saved it. I didn't save it to OneDrive. I was working at Microsoft. My computer crashed. I lost 72 hours of work. And so if I would have been working with my teammates in Teams before Teams was Teams, my life would have been forever changed. Okay. And so that just shows you that when you work in here, things save in here. You know when things are changed. When I leave and I come back, it's going to tell me that Erin made changes. It's going to show me the changes so that we can be more productive together. Okay. And then you can see we can have a conversation here too. Questions. Can you tell I get a little excited? Now I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And you can see how this is used for a short-term project, right? One place. Now, if I come up over here, I can add in applications. And so let's say we're going to be working on this PowerPoint for a while. I'm going to go ahead and name it Chicago hot dogs. I'm going to go ahead and choose the PowerPoint we're working on, and I'm going to save it. And it's going to show up as a tab. So I don't have to keep going back into the files to work on it. Everything is going to be located in one location. So here it is. Here are the changes that were made. If you need the file, it's saved here. Okay, so nice from that perspective. Ton of other applications. You can bring in OneNote, websites, wiki. I mean, you name it, it's available for you. And I know we don't have like 5 million hours today, so we're going quick, but we can do advanced solutions or sessions with you and your company as well. Now down below, we showed you all the fun stuff, but let's say Erin, Tracy, and I wanted to meet. All I had to do was click the calendar button. I can come through, they're automatically invited. I can look at the scheduling assistant to see when they're free or when they're busy. I can come to the details section and I can schedule that call. I don't have to put Teams in here because it's automatically populated for me. No link, no phone number. If I wanted to add it to a channel, I would just come over here, choose the channel, and that meeting would happen then in that location. Okay, so really ease of use is great. And one of the coolest apps that was introduced at Christmas time was the Starbucks app. Now this is great for internal to internal. So if I wanted to, I could send an e-gift on Starbucks from my personal Starbucks account, and I could send her a gift card right through Teams. And so that's kind of fun. So I would have to sign in, but you can see how cool Teams is developing. Up here in the right-hand corner, I can remove people. Tracy's no longer needed for the project, so I'm going to go ahead and remove her. I can go ahead and add people. When I add people, I can choose the chat history. So if I wanted to include it all, that person's going to be up to speed pretty quick, plus including the documents. Okay. I can even pop out this chat so that I can have multiple chats going on at the same time. And this is nice. I probably have 6 to 8 on my third monitor at any given time. Okay. Questions on chat?
I was just going to make the comment too. I know there's a lot of people on here who are already using Teams, but what a godsend, the button in the upper right hand corner to do a video or a phone call of those people on that project like that. So I mean, if you have to schedule something, you can, but if you want to meet with those people immediately, you just hit a button and we're all together.
Yep, great call out. Forgot about that part, but yeah, it's right here from that perspective. Perfect. All right, now we're going to move to Teams. Now, this is basically where my life is. And so you can see here, this Ingram Micro Teams partner is the name of the team. Okay. So you could have a team named HR. Inside HR, you could have training. You could have marketing, really depending upon the structure of your company. And so here, you're going to be able to see the general section is for everybody who is invited to that team. Okay. When we dive into it, you can see I have a lot of private teams. They have to be invited, and only people in those teams can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you kind of how I use Teams. What's nice is that with Teams, you have the ability to interact with external guests. Okay. You can see I have 339 external people that are a part of this team. It's my one place to share all of my information with all of my partners that I work with around Teams. And so you can see, Mr. Dave responded, great content. And so there's information here that reaches everyone. I have files here. So you can come in here, you can organize your files. So get off those on-prem file servers, move them to the cloud. They're going to be safe. Your servers aren't going to crash. Everything is in one location. Okay. Biggest advice of the day. But they can actually come in here and download anything that they need for success because they're part of that team. I also use wikis. This is actually a wiki that I renamed to partner training opportunities. So they always have everything available to them at their fingertips. Microsoft Teams blog posts are pretty awesome. That's a OneNote. So what I do is I take things from my OneNote on my desktop, if you guys use OneNote. So this, and it automatically syncs to Teams because everything in Microsoft talks to one another. So you're able to see everything in one location. I even have websites integrated in here. So you're able to see Microsoft Learn and then a ton of other websites from my partner community. Okay. Now, when I come down to my demo tenant here on this general section, you're going to be able to see a couple of things from the three dots. You can manage your channel. You can email your channel. So if you have customers that write to you, you can actually give them that email and it can go right to Teams. Your team can chat about it, respond to the email right out of Teams, and send it right back to your customer. And you can add in additional people and connectors as well. Super easy to create a team. You just click join or create a team. You click create a team. You can do from scratch, from a group, or even from a template. So if you don't know how you want to set it up, you can choose from a template. I'm going to go ahead and do project management. I want 5 channels, 4 apps. Sure, looks good. I'm going to make it private, meaning only people I invite can attend. I'm going to call it Rockstar Team. I'm going to go ahead and click create. And because it's a template, it takes a little bit longer. If it was just a normal team, it would be up in 3 seconds. Oh, yep, it's taken a moment. There it is. The other channels are being built. And I can go ahead and add people just as quickly as I made it. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Erin. She's added. Oh, I think it's because it's still provisioning. There she is as a member. I can make her an owner. And I'm going to go ahead and click close, but she'll be in there. And then you can just go ahead and start working. It's pretty cool from that perspective. Make it by mistake. You can go ahead and delete the team. You know that you delete it. And you go from there. Any questions on that portion? Just a high level overview for today. Now you see up here, I have a ton of other things that are going on. I'm connected to my Yammer community. That's one that my org actually pins. It's like internal social networking, ways to communicate things across the org that maybe you're not a part of a team or a channel on. You have your calendar here. Now, from a calendar perspective, you can see this is the meeting that's currently going on for me. Yes, I'm busy. Don't get excited. But up here, you can actually click new meeting or meet now. If we were to do a new meeting, some of the things that we can actually do, which aren't enabled for us, is you can actually require registration. So this is where those new webinar functionalities are coming into play. Okay. I don't think our admin has enabled them for us yet, but that's where you're going to go ahead and get that in-depth registration list, the analytics, everything from that perspective. Okay. Then when you schedule it again, you add your title. If you add it to a channel, you don't need to invite people. Everybody in that channel will automatically be invited for you. So nobody will ever be forgotten. How beautiful is that? Especially if it's internal. Okay. And then you just hit send because Microsoft Teams, it's already included. The other cool thing is the Meet Now. I record a lot of videos, so I'll just do a Meet Now, save it, and I'll disperse it. So you don't have to use third-party video tools anymore as well. Now, if you're into telephony and your telephony is on-prem, Microsoft Teams, oh my gosh, this just changed too, like right now. Sorry, I totally geek out. Before it was down here. So now we have the telephony function here. You can see the history here. You can see my speed dial, which is over here in my other contacts. I knew it was coming, so at least I'm familiar with it. Here's my contacts, which are here, which I just have to double click to call. Here I can dial in and out with my phone number. I can click do not forward. I can forward to voicemail, and I have more settings. What does this look like? Yep. So this is kind of different now too. So you're able to set up your settings from that perspective. This is so nice when you think about moving your phone system to Microsoft Teams because everything's in one location. You can make your phone calls off Teams. You no longer have to give your cell phone number out. There's really a ton that you're able to do. And you can make phone calls from anytime, anywhere in the world, which is awesome. And then you can actually change your speaker down here now too. So, and then it looks like your missed calls are here. Your incoming calls, your voicemail is here as well. So when you click on your voicemail, it actually shows up here now. I can now send him a quick message because he's on Teams. That's brand new. That is really slick. Oh my gosh, I love it. I can see his org. I can video call him and I can make a regular call as well. And this will actually go right to my Outlook. So I don't know, I'm teasing out right now because I'm pretty pumped about this functionality. Microsoft is constantly making changes to the platform. Then you have your file section here. So here you can see all of the files that I've recently worked on. Microsoft Teams files are any file that's been worked on any team. And then you have your downloads, which I showed you, and then your OneDrive. So really, one stop for everything. It's mind-blowing. Here is IMA. Now, if you want to take your business to the next level, with Enerock, you can build in bots, workflows, processes to streamline things. And this is a new bot Ingram put in. It's a service ticket. I can go in here. I can type exactly what I need. It's going right to my services desk, and it's all happening via Teams. I worked with a trucking company that delivered to C-stores, convenience stores, and we actually helped with the partner develop a tracking system through Teams where they used to use just their cell phones to track inventory once it was delivered. So the minute that they delivered the stuff to the cooler, they scanned with an app on Teams every single barcode. That barcode configured what the invoicing would be, had the manager sign the invoice at the C-store, the person hit send, and it goes back to finance. Billing went out like 30 days sooner than versus having a paper invoice come back from that truck driver. And so just the processes to speed up the flow of your business through Teams, it's amazing. So, and that's why I love what I do. You also have the ability in Teams to do shifts. If you have employers that clock in and clock out, if you have them assigned to a team in Teams, you can actually have them clock in here, start a break, export timesheets, and they're able to exchange shifts together all in one location. So you no longer need to pay for a third-party timekeeping tool, which is great. Who doesn't like to save money? Tasks by Planner is another app that I use. I would just explore it. We're starting to get to the end of our time, but you can put all of your tasks, everything to do in this location. Even approvals can happen here too. It'll streamline from one person to the next. Yep, I did my part. Now you do your part, and it's going to keep moving through that process. All right, here's more apps you can add down here below. These apps I think there's like over 1,000. So I would just go ahead and check them out. And then if I went really fast for you, which is normal in an hour, you have the ability to come down here and click on training. Now, all of these things down here are under 3 minutes, and so they're quite snackable when it comes to training modules. Okay, so check it out. If you want to know what's new, you can click on what's new. And it's going to go ahead and show you everything that has been released for the general user. And then if you want to suggest a feature, that's always nice too. That's how Microsoft gets better. All right, any questions?